power of the dark side.
But you know, happiness can be found even in the darkest of time. If one only remembers to turn on the light.
The beacons are in the city! The beacons are lit!
Night gathers, and now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death.
Remember it well, then, this night.
For in those memories, we live on.
Do not cite the deep magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written.
Call the banners.
All of them, my lord.
They've all sworn to defend my father, have they not?
They have.
Now we'll see what the words are worth.
But take heart. Look around you. You're not in this fight alone. We face our enemy together. And together, we will defeat them.
By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand! Men of the West!
We're back.
What's good, everyone?
What's up, guys?
How's everyone doing today?
Doing well. Actually. Long time no Witan.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. Davio, you're looking rather tan.
It's that good old Texas sun.
I was gonna say, gotta be that Texas heat.
It's gonna be making me look more and more illegal than I already did.
I would tell a story about how they thought that I was an illegal immigrant when I was down in Texas.
I highly doubt that, but
I think we need the story.
They did. We were driving through there on a road trip, my parents and I, and a trooper pulled my dad over, and I was laying in the back seat because we're on a 3-day road trip, right? So I'm like, the only place I can sleep is there. So I'm laying down, but I had like one of those old Baja Joe hoodies on. Kind of looks like a drug rug type of thing. But I'm like 14, right? And I'm laying there watching The Hobbit. But my back is to the road, so I don't know that there's a cop here. I'm like, why are we pulled over? Like, what's going on? I don't care. I'm just going to keep watching this movie.
Mm.
Well, apparently the trooper asked my dad, like, who's that in the back? They're like, it's our son. And he's like, you sure about that? Can I pull his papers? They're like, yeah, go look him up. So they went and looked me up. He's like, sorry, I thought he might have been an illegal. I just needed to make sure.
What an illegal Russian or?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I was a little bit more tan and Italian looking back then, but yeah, that's the
yeah, because you're always hearing about all these illegal Italians coming over.
No, I mean, seriously, it was the weirdest thing.
Rolo thought it was 1924, not 2024.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I'm glad we're back. I missed this.
I've been missing shows, man.
Now I'll let me derail it one more time before you start, Caleb. But now all we need, now that we are back, is both of us to get some backgrounds going again.
Holy crap! I have a background. That's weird. Usually I don't.
Oh yes. Sorry.
I was like,
dude, I was
waiting
so
for it.
lost.
I was like,
I was so lost.
You guys both moved though. That's a valid reason why I did not.
Yeah, you said backgrounds, and I'm thinking background music.
You're all, my background's fine. I just got background checked a few weeks ago.
Dude, I had to pee in a cup for this job. That was weird.
It sucks.
I had to do that for my old job, but it was the kind of thing where, they've got kind of a lot of people coming in and out, so that kind of made sense to me. But this was, I talked to a bunch of other friends of mine who are attorneys that they've never had to be drug tested.
I was nervous about that when I started the office stuff for construction. Because unions and stuff. Unions and stuff, they require drug tests. So the companies typically, even So like even non-union, they'll test the field. So like the company as a whole will say like, oh yeah, background checks and drug tests are required. But then every time I get into the office, it's just like, it's one of those things like I sign off on a sheet every week for hours. And it's like, are you aware of our drug policies? Like, yeah, I'm aware. Like, but they've never tested. I don't think they will.
Well, careful, because you're never tested until you're tested.
Well, I mean, all they're going to find is alcohol. So.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Nope.
Well, marijuana is not legal in Texas anyway. So.
Sorry, Rollo.
I don't smoke weed.
What do you mean?
Alcohol.
Oh, dude, I don't give it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just fucking roasting him live about that.
It's roasting me. It's not even roasting me, dude. Like, I literally had this conversation to my live chat. And I had it on here on Friday, so. I don't care.
Anyway, what are we talking about today, friend?
Other than all of us, Roman, thanks for being here. Yep. And anyone else lurking, thank you so much. So we're going to start with a couple of months, about a year ago, we heard that they were making a new Tron movie.
Mm-hmm.
And when they announced it, they said that, or I can't remember if they said it or Jeff Bridges said it or whatever, but Jeff Bridges said, someone said that Jeff Bridges wasn't going to be in it, which immediately made me like, oh, I mean, you can't have a Tron movie without Jeff Bridges. But we found out, I think it was yesterday, that he will be in the new Tron movie.
So I think my personal perspective on it is that I think it was too early in the production phase for him to give a solid answer that he's going to be in it. And I'm sure he was always open to it. But when they made the announcement that they're making it, there probably just wasn't enough on the table, or on the drawing board for him to be like, I'm going to be in it, And plus, I'm pretty sure it was like when they announced that was like coming right out of COVID, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was like 2 years ago.
No, so I think this announcement was because I was doing YouTube, so I think this announcement was just over a year ago.
That was the
probably
announcement, but this has been in production hell for like the past.
Has it? Okay, so I only became aware of this movie about a year ago. Yeah,
because originally it was going to be animated. Now it's live action.
You know what? I think you're correct on this one for once.
I'm a massive Tron fan, dude.
I actually think you are. I think it came out. I'm mistaking the two big movie hits in the past 5 years, which were COVID and the strikes. I'm pretty sure what I'm thinking of is that coming out of the strikes, they started.
It's live action now.
Yeah. Well, but I'm pretty sure what happened was like there was no actual solid storyboard going yet.
Well, and then if it was during the strikes, which again, I probably should have done my research and actually checked when this announcement was. But if it was during the strikes, then it would make sense because they're not allowed to talk about projects they've got or things they're going to be working on. Yeah. Do you have a trash can next to your?
Of course.
Smart.
I wisened up since the last time where I had an L-shaped desk back in California, so I would just stack them next to me and I'd end up with 30 cans.
Apparently Nathan Fillion was also in Tron Legacy.
He was, yes. He I forget what he did in it, but if I recall, it was just like a sort of like cameo thing.
Caleb, do we know if I forget the guy's name who played the main role in Legacy?
Sam Flynn.
Yeah. I actually like him as an actor, and from my understanding, the last I looked into this stuff was that it's not connected to Legacy at all, right?
So it is.
It is?
Yes,
it is now.
But he won't be in it. He's not.
That's fine, but as long as they're connecting it to Legacy, because they're so good.
I don't think it'll be a while.
From what I understand, the story that we know so far is that at the end of Legacy, Olivia Wilde and Sam Flynn have left the The Grid. Thank you. I almost said The Matrix.
I love this movie. I love Legacy.
They've left the grid, and so Olivia Wilde is existing somehow in our world. And so
Well, she's an
this
ISO.
movie, do what?
She's an ISO, so
Yeah.
she became human. She had the ability to become human.
This
outside.
movie is supposed to be about how I'm guessing what was the clue? How Clue is going to try to get out of the grid into our world. It's what I'm understanding. So
That was Legacy, though.
they've changed Olivia Wilde's character, I believe, is now a guy.
Korra?
Yeah.
Well, Tron's
So-
alive. We know that Tron himself is alive
Yeah. I mean, I figured that.
because he
You're not
didn't.
gonna-
He
You're not
comes
going
back
to
at
kill
the
off.
end and he beats up Clue.
Yeah. So we've got Gillian Anderson, Evan Peters, Cameron Monaghan. Jared Leto is playing Ares. That's the only casting decision I don't like. I'm not a big Jared Leto guy. I think the only thing he should really have ever been allowed to do.
So he was pretty good in Blade Runner, and I'm not gonna stand by. I don't know how he's going to portray this character. Yeah, he's kind of cuckoo, but at the end of the day, I'm more interested in the idea and connect. Like, it's an obvious reason why they're choosing Ares as the title, and how they're going to connect that to Greek mythology. I think it's going to be kind of interesting. I don't really know. He's like known to be a savage god, right? So I wonder. I think it's all, and plus he's got the red. He's decked out in the red.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be clear he's going to be some sort of an antagonist. So
absolutely.
I'm excited to see what they do with that.
All right. So, what do you guys think about this? Because this takes place in the Disney Tron universe, right?
Yeah.
So we have to remember that there was a show on right before Rebels on Disney XD when it was still on there called Tron Uprising.
Oh yeah.
I never really got into it.
I didn't even know of that.
But
my guess is that it's nothing.
Yeah, but some of these characters might be popping up. Like Elijah Wood plays Beck. Tron is Bruce Boxleitner because he's also Flynn's like cohort, I guess. But then they also have like a ton of these people here that I could see being brought back. I mean, some of these actors are pretty big. Like Korra ends up being in it. David Arquette's in it.
So my guess is
Aaron Paul's in it too as Cyrus. I'm just looking for the name.
Yeah.
Cameron Monaghan's gonna be.
Yeah.
I forgot about
So my guess is that they are, if they do anything, it's going to be just like a little, hey, if you ever watched this, you'll know what this is, and it's going to be something on in the background.
Yeah, it's going to be
kind of like that Daft Punk thing they did.
That was just sick. That's the best. One of the best scenes in the movie, dude. That's one of the best scenes in the movie when they're all.
But that was Daft Punk, right?
It was. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Zeus looks up at them and he just
no. It was Dead Mouse. I thought.
No, it was Daft Punk.
Oh.
It's Daft Punk. It's one of the last
with the helmets.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Yeah.
But oh, dude, I love freaking Tron Legacy is one of my favorite movies, unapologetically.
It's such a good. And what's so funny about it is, I think it's one of those examples of a movie that didn't really do well, but that has a really good life after.
It doesn't need a sequel, though, in my opinion.
What's up, Bobby?
What's up, Bobby?
And I agree. It doesn't. It does. It absolutely has an ending. It doesn't need a sequel. But if they do it right, I will be very happy to get a continuation of the story, especially
100.
with Jeff Bridges in it.
But I don't know how you do it without Sam.
Yeah, well, so I think Sam Flynn is in it. I just don't it's not the same actor. Someone else is going to play Sam Flynn.
Which is weird. Why would they do that? That's my.
Well, so I think one of the reasons is I don't think it's supposed to be too terribly long after. and Legacy came out in
2010.
Yeah, so that guy
With
looks
the age difference, yeah.
So do you think that it would
that
be
guy looks
so-
old now. I say old,
Older.
much older.
Yeah, older.
Yeah, he's got a beard now.
I mean, he's
can
he's
shave
almost
that.
40 now.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you think
By the way,
that what they would
speaking
do-
of that, guys, I found a gray hair today.
Dude, I found one the other day, which is weird.
I've been finding out. My mustache is turning brown.
I was sitting there in my car, and I looked up. I could see in my rearview mirror a streak going across my hair, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Oh,
I found like one or two on my head, and my mustache, for whatever, you can't see it on the camera, but for whatever reason, I've got like 10 orange hairs starting to pop up on my mustache. So yeah.
Dude, I have blonde, like bright blonde right here. You can't see it.
You're 22, Rolo.
Yeah, but here's the thing. My mom went gray at like 28.
Yeah.
29.
Still, it's
well, I'm not even like worried about it. I've accepted already. I'll probably have gray
for
hair
6 years.
I'm 30, which I'm cool with.
You've got 6 years, buddy.
7.
Yeah.
I'm already finding the orange.
Yeah, 7 actually, because I'm turning 29 in a month and a half.
I'll be 24.
All right, party in Texas. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Barbecue, baby.
So yeah, overall thoughts on simply Jeff Bridges joining. You think good thing, bad thing?
I think it's no negative thing you could say about
Move
this.
in the right direction.
You just don't have Tron without Jeff Bridges at this point, and it'd be a shame for them to do a project without him. So, because look, he only has another 10 years. Yeah, he has another 10 years maybe of acting, and when you break that down in actual movies, that's maybe 3 to 5 movies at most, 3 to 5 movies at most. So if you don't take advantage of having Jeff Bridges to be like on the project, you're making a mistake. So all around positive for me. And quickly, just before we move on from Tron, I think this is a very underappreciated sci-fi franchise.
100%.
And I know there are a bunch of fans, so I'm not saying like fans aren't appreciating it. I'm saying it's been underappreciated in terms of Hollywood. And I was just talking about this with one of our other friends about how there's so much potential and so much they could actually really branch out within this universe. Like the idea of you going into a video game, right? Or, and living digitally, like the ISOs, and like, it's just all around a fantastic, like science fiction storyline.
The closest thing we've gotten to that kind of thing since Legacy is Ready Player One. Yep.
Yeah.
Which was brought
awesome.
It was written because of the original, I believe.
Yeah. So what's his name wrote the book? I think in the 90s,
I believe,
as
so.
like an ode to the 80s. Because in the 80s or in the book, it's basically a love story to Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And when he directed it, he chose not to make it a love story to himself because probably a good thing. I mean,
right.
That would be very egotistical.
But also, like with this, what's great about Tron Legacy? What's up, dog? Member for 3 months. Good shit.
Word from High Command. Rolo sits down when he pees.
No.
I don't know. High Command said so.
I don't know. But, well, High Command will probably know. But the cool thing about Legacy, and this is like just a little random tidbit I always loved, is that Bridges is basically playing the dude throughout most of that movie.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Like, which is great. And not only that, but if you look at Clue from that movie, it's done better than freaking Dial of Destiny's Young Indiana Jones. Like, it looks better. The young CGI on Bridges.
You know what else is pretty cool about that movie?
It has an ending. Doesn't need a second one.
Wow. Yeah.
The music is amazing.
This was a pretty cool thing about that movie.
Olivia Wilde. Oh, her too. Yeah.
Swan.
Yeah, yeah.
She's in season 2
off.
of Jack Reacher.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's Keely Dixon. This is even bigger. Word from the high table.
I don't eat corn the long way.
Rolo eats corn the long way.
I was there. I was in the live stream when that joke was made.
I don't know, dude. The high table sits above all.
Yeah. Rolo eating corn.
Appreciating. And don't clip that.
No, definitely clip that.
Appreciate the memberships, guys, and the reference, Damiano. Nice job.
Yo, Damiano, go back in the stream today and wait till Roman's camera freezes in like the first 20 minutes. It's perfect for many things.
All right, I'll do it.
It was dude, it was
so who anybody been on Twitter in the last 2 days?
The only thing I saw on Twitter was X walking around with the little one in Italy, right? Italy?
Yep, Italy.
Yeah.
So if you don't remember, there was a movie that came out 2 years ago. It was called Thor: Love and Thunder.
That was 2 years ago? Holy shit.
It was.
Holy
year and 9 months. Yeah, so it was called Thor: Love and Thunder. There was a fourth Thor movie.
I never saw it.
I didn't either. And it was apparently shit.
I was excited.
To the point that it has, in my opinion, actually harmed both Natalie Portman's and Chris Hemsworth's acting careers. To the point that now Chris Hemsworth is just coming out and just saying, "Yeah, should never have done this. This was a bad idea."
Well, it's good publicity that he did it now, right, and gave it enough time, because he probably knew what he was doing the whole time. And I actually want to touch on this. I don't think it's fully Chris Hemsworth's fault that it came out this way. It's more on Taika
Waititi,
Taika Waititi fire.
It is far and away one person's fault, and it is the dumbass that thinks he's a friend from work is a cool line.
Look, I didn't mind much at all, to be honest, in comparison to the whole movie of Thor: Love and Thunder. I think what it was is Waititi is like, oh yeah, go ahead and just do whatever you want, and didn't give him any direction as a director should do. That's personally my opinion on it. Like, I don't really understand why he's kind of coming out and saying that this is like this is his fault in a sense. I don't think that's it at all. I think it's more like, no, you were given free reign with no direction at all to do what you were supposed to do, was just act.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, so right here we just saw a scene from it. Who could have thought that this was a good idea?
Well, here's the thing. That works in certain movies, but it would never have worked if that was Natalie Portman. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
it would have for us, but they would never have done it.
Captain Obvious.
Did you see what was the movie?
Black Swan.
Which one, Roland?
Black Swan.
No, I saw Black Swan. I saw
need
part
to watch
Black
that
Swan.
still.
The whole movie, you mean?
I haven't.
You've never seen 7.5 minutes of Black Swan?
7.5 minutes.
I promise you, I haven't.
Okay.
Not all of us are that deranged, Caleb. I have not looked up Natalie Portman Black Swan scene.
It's a good movie.
Which one? What's the parody movie where she's like a princess or something?
That movie 43.
No.
That movie is terrible.
That is hilarious.
Hilariously terrible. It's like I hold that in the same regard that I held The Room, but for different reasons.
Oh, jeez.
What is happening in your chat?
Your Highness. That's the movie. Oh.
7.5 minutes, she said. That's all
7.5 minutes is a long time.
That's a good run, dude. I don't know.
I'm just saying. So what's his name? Hemsworth said that I got caught up in the improv and the wackiness. And I became a parody of myself, and I didn't stick the landing. No, not by a long note. And that's so disappointing because I know several people that didn't like the first two Thors that loved the third Thor. I'm the reverse. I loved the first two Thors, and I could not stand Ragnarok. I thought that's what I've said this several times. Ragnarok is where the downfall of the MCU started.
Second one's Dark World, right?
Yeah.
I never saw the first one.
Oh, the first one's so good. So Ragnarok is where the idea that everyone needed to laugh every 5.5 seconds started.
Yeah.
You could see that start getting peppered in. And I don't know if the Russo brothers just had more control over the Avenger movies than everyone else ended up having control over in like Spider-Man and the Marvels and whatever the other 4 or 5 that have come out are. But they were able to hold it off at the pass mostly for Infinity War and Endgame. But the second that story ended, you just see every single movie since then. You've got like just stupid jokes, especially the TV shows. And there's just there was no importance in drama, which I feel like, I don't know if drama is the right word, but I feel like in
emotion.
Yeah. So
you're correct, because in the middle of Surtur destroying Asgard, you have Hulk go, "But big monster," and they're like, "No, Hulk, don't smash." And
so I think Caleb, I think there's a few things that we need to acknowledge with the downfall after, like with what you're talking about. I think one of the main ones too, though, is that that announcement from Kevin Feige came out where it's like, we're going to start doing two movies per year, and all these other projects and shows started. And I think that's where you really saw the down, like the, what's the word I'm looking for? Where basically
watering down.
Yeah, watering down. However you want to put it, quality versus quantity. They started pumping stuff out without actually putting care into the projects.
100%.
And I think part of it too, I'm not necessarily buying that like the Russo brothers had something to do with that too much. I think it was more of the direction Marvel as a company and franchise was trying to go towards.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I don't know. One thing I wanted to bring up though, now that you talked about the Russo brothers, did you see what they said about Robert Downey Jr.?
No, but I saw there was somebody that said that they being, I think, Disney wants to make a story that has both drama and some laughs in it. And there were a bunch of comments that were like, "Oh, call the Russo brothers." But beyond that, I haven't. So what did he say about RDJ?
If Disney wants to look back at doing, if Disney wants to look back at doing that, they need to go and look at Pirates 1, 2, and 3.
Early Marvel, I would say.
Yeah.
But go and pay attention to that. You have your drama and your laughs.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one.
It's just the whole like format or foundation of like drama mixing with humor, I think is the main reason why like things aren't really hitting right now. Like you're either, I don't know, I'm kind of like traditionalist in the sense like you're doing a drama or you're doing a comedy. I don't really like to have them blend too much personally, but that's just my opinion on that fact. What he was saying about Robert Downey Jr. was that like, you know, I think he's still in talks about coming back for some project. And Film Threat was talking about it, where they were, they're saying not specifically Film Threat, but they had a guest on who was talking about this and was saying how it would just be a mistake because it would undo and unravel the whole ending to Endgame.
Yeah, so
I agree with that.
I don't know how they would do it. I don't know what the road to that would be. Apparently, one of them laughs at that point. I mean, we closed that book, so it would be up to them to figure out how to reopen it. Completely agree. Iron Man, Tony Stark is dead. You have to move on. If you want to continue this continuity, if you want to just hard stop, wait a decade and then do something else, that's different. But if you want, you cannot go and continue the storyline and either throw us into a different timeline, like I feel like they're trying to set up, and then say, okay, well, this timeline's Iron Man, so we can watch him, because we will forever compare them. But I feel like if you take a beat, basically restart, do something else, and have a different Iron Man, I feel like that's different.
Well, one thing that DC does get right, and it has gotten right, is recasting characters. If you're gonna bring Iron Man back, recast him. If you're gonna bring Captain America back, recast him. You want to do this stuff, recast him.
Well, that's what they're saying. Like, so I think the better thing to do. Now I'm forgetting the actual character's name, but the guy who's like a Kang variant, or Kid rather, Kang variant, who's he's basically related to Kang somehow, or Nathaniel Richards rather, and like, yeah, that's another way that you could do it and start tying in an Iron Man character. But like, I don't really see the point in bringing in Robert Downey Jr. And he's getting old too. So like, I don't think
he's in his mid-50s now, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think upper 50. I think
he's close to 60.
I think 55, 56.
Yeah, he's 59.
59. Wow, yeah. He looks old.
Well, yeah, especially since he became vegan.
Yeah,
he looks like shit now.
He looks as bad as he was when he was on drugs.
He looks frail.
I'm not even lying.
You're right. You're completely right.
He looks as frail as he was when he was on drugs.
So I'm actually glad we moved away from the Chris Hemsworth thing, because I don't think that's that great. But earlier this week there was another thing. I guess the Russo brothers got interviewed about everything, because we've got like 9 different things from them like that have been like trending and shit. Really? I'm curious what y'all think about this. The Russo brothers don't believe in superhero fatigue and think Marvel's recent struggles are due to and this is what I think is bullshit, are due to, quote, big generational divide about how you consume media. There's a generation that's used to appointment viewing and going to a theater on a certain date to see something, but it's aging out. Meanwhile, the new generation are, quote, I want it now, I want to process it now.
Yeah.
Then moving on to the next thing, which they process whilst doing 2 other things at the same time. You know, it's a very different moment in time than it's ever been. And so I think everyone, including Marvel, is experiencing the same thing, this transition. And I think that really is probably what's at play more than anything else. So before I ask y'all, the thing that I hate about this is I don't know which one it is. I'm assuming it's kind of both of them. They're taking this little bit of truth in the fact that we as a society multitask more than our parents, or at least we multitask with our eyes more than our parents did. But I don't know anyone in the 18 to 35 age bracket that sits there and goes, you know, I want to see this movie, but I hate the fact that I have to make an appointment to see it. I think that's a really dumb thing to say. Yeah. I think the reason that movies are failing today is just the fact that, for the most part, across the board, there's nothing that's fun to go watch.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's actually a cop-out, and I don't agree with this at all. I think movie sales aren't reaching the numbers that studios want because they're not delivering a product that we find worth it. Now, you could argue, sure, TikTok and stuff has affected people, and
it definitely has affected. So, like, if you could say, let's say 100% of people in 20 years ago would be willing to go sit in line, get the movie ticket, get the food, sit down and watch a movie. Today, 85%. But 100% aren't going to go to the movie.
Well,
they would just be willing to.
And look, that's only really the generation. Okay, so it's almost a contradiction because they're talking. He's talking, or whichever Russo said that they're talking about this. This younger generation doesn't have the attention span. Well, by that same token, that generation they're talking about also probably doesn't make their own money right now.
Exactly.
And
that's another thing that doesn't make sense when you see these companies make things. It's like, why are you making something for someone that doesn't have money?
Look, also, like now that I'm a working adult that lives alone, I don't just spend money on stuff at will, right? Like I'm not gonna go to every single fucking Marvel or DC movie just because it's Marvel or DC. And on top of that, like it takes real interest for me to actually go see a movie. Ridley Scott's, I mean, both of us, you and I both went to see that by ourselves, Napoleon, because we like history and it's Ridley Scott. We're like, okay, this piqued our interest enough. I like Joaquin Phoenix enough where I'm like, I'll go support his movie just because I like him as an actor. And that's really what it takes for me to get out and go pay for a ticket, especially when they're at fucking $21 an hour. Or an hour, but you know what I'm saying? $21.
Well, we know how much Davio makes an hour.
I was gonna say we know how much.
Wrong, but yeah. But
right, it's 725 pesos.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you see what I'm saying, right? Like it.
So, like to that point, though.
Hang on 1 second. Marvel purist for 2 months. MCU is fucked. X-Men 97 is great, but 0 ratings. I am so happy to hear someone saying that X-Men 97 is great because let me rewind that because I haven't heard anyone say it's terrible. I haven't heard anyone say it's woke, it's full of the message, it's full of this, it's shit, they've ruined the characters. I have heard complaints, as I think everything today is going to get complaints. There are complaints about, I'll give you an example. I just finished Ted Lasso. I love that show. That show is incredible. And one of the things that I think it does perfectly is explain the love and the feel that people who love sports get from their sports.
My dad loves that.
But it absolutely has the message in it a couple times. And that third season strays for about 3 episodes there in the middle. You're just like, are we really doing this? It gets back to the story and being good, but there's definitely some time where you're like, great.
So I talk to Justin a lot at Purist, and if Purist is saying, like, when it comes to Star Wars or Marvel,
I agree.
If Justin's saying that like he's watching it and enjoying it, the message can be overlooked in terms of the quality of the product that's being.
And that's a perfect point. You can 100% have. We're never going to get away from the message. The message will change, but we're never going to get away from the virtue signaling of Hollywood. But how you do that is you make good television. You allow the message to be part of the actual story and not just strong woman, powerful because woman. Give her a reason to be powerful. Why was Ripley so? Not even Ripley. I hate talking about Ripley. Why was Sarah Connor such a great character to watch? Because she fell in love with Kyle. She had an actual human emotion. She killed to save Kyle, and then she killed to save her son. Like that's human emotion.
Let's connect it back to Star Wars real quick. Like you and I both love the Bane series. Githany is a great, strong female character. There's nothing overtly agenda driven with Githany's character. Same with Leia. Same with Padme. Like these things can be done properly, right? But then you look at a situation like Rey, and like and I'm not going to keep turning a wheel that we've turned 100,000 times. But you see what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah,
like,
we're here to break the wheel, man.
Well,
Yeah.
to that point though, Daimyo,
She's another character though.
I think
She's another character though.
For 7 seasons and 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think
it doesn't matter how many times we saw her tits. It.
I think that like Padme
Tits.
was perfect in the middle. Like Padme was the perfect character in the middle, right? Same with Marion from Indiana Jones, right? They were equally the damsel as they were the savior at the same time.
That's a good point.
Right? Like you have
I'm
Padme.
gonna write that down. I like that.
Rollo, I have to say before you finish, you should start doing streams without drinking more often, to be honest. Because
I'm going to be doing a lot of them.
because you're sounding very coherent and I agree with your statements.
So like if you look at Padme, right? You have scenes where she needs to be saved by Anakin, right? Or saved by something, or she's being assassinated, or whatever. And then you also have her being the first one to get out of the problem when they're in especially in Attack of the Clones, when they're in the arena, right? She's the one where Obi-Wan's like, well, she seems to be on top of things, because Anakin's like, what about Padme? What about Padme? And he looks over and she's already figuring it out. You know what I mean? Because she's thinking through things. She's being that's her kind of like her strength is her mind, right? She's a senator, so she thinks in those ways.
Yeah.
And then for her to go, obviously she's pregnant in Revenge of the Sith, so you can't really count that as much. But before that, especially in Attack of the Clones.
Excuse me, have you ever birthed a child? You fucking misogynist.
What do you mean? I'm saying she's not going to go and fight in battle when there's 2 children growing in her stomach. But I'm saying...
I mean, she did in the Clone Wars.
She did, though.
She's not pregnant in Clone Wars.
Sure she is. The Clone Wars ends like 45 minutes before she gives birth.
Yeah, but she's not pregnant in... She explains that she hasn't seen Anakin for months. She heard that he died. There's been rumors that you were killed, and she starts crying.
Holy shit, I've only seen the 7th season once.
No, she says that in Revenge of the Sith when she first sees him. When she tells him that she's pregnant. She goes, Annie, I'm pregnant. Before that, she goes, I'm so glad you're back. There's rumors that you had been killed. And he goes, don't believe that, my love. Or whatever.
Okay, Justin, I need confirmation about this.
Dude, that's in the beginning of Return.
Because I don't... Revenge. I don't remember that. But granted, it's been longer than I care to admit that since I've seen.
That's my favorite movie ever, dude. I know the lines, unfortunately. I probably know that thing line for line. But
so real quick, I called this. This
is all getting wrong.
About a month and a half ago when the documentary came out. We're gonna have to be a little careful about this. You know that HBO documentary about Nickelodeon?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So Schneider is suing them.
What? How?
He is claiming that they portrayed him as a predator.
He is.
No, he's not. Nothing he did was predatory.
I know, that's the problem.
He was an asshole to work with, and he put, at best, suggestive content and jokes in the shows, but nothing he did was predatory. And them, by placing his story in the middle of episodes 1 and 4, they made, or actually by placing him, so his story is episode 2, part of 4, and then I think there's a lot about it in the new episode on 5.
So is he suing them on defamation?
Yep, he's suing them for defamation. And he's not the only one. So, of course, we have to be a little vague about this because YouTube apparently is going after channels.
He's being put as an out.
Yeah.
He's an out for Hollywood.
Well, we just gotta watch our words.
Yeah. So, do y'all remember? You don't, Rolly. You're too young. Diamond, do you remember Double Dare?
On Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Was it like one of those?
It was like a game show.
Amanda Cosgrove. Yeah, like slime, like the slime one.
Miranda Cosgrove, Amanda Bynes.
Amanda.
It was
Mix the two.
it was just before the Amanda show and all that stuff. So it was just before Dan Schneider. So the thing gets introduced by this guy. The documentary is introduced by this guy that was the game show host for Double Dare, and he is also in the middle of trying to get a lawsuit on them because they connected him to like the way they shot everything and lined everything up on the showroom floor connects him to what went down when he had already left Nickelodeon. He left Nickelodeon like a year before any of that shit happened. And by introducing the show with him and lying to him about what the introduction was supposed to be about, I think this is some of the shoddiest. These are stories that definitely need to be told, and I'm glad that Drake Bell was able to get out there and kind of admit this stuff and hopefully get over it. But this is shoddy journalism at its best.
It's not even like from what I've seen. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't really brought to watch it.
Mr. Dog, I don't know what this was in response to. If it was in response to anything with Schneider, nothing with children. Schneider didn't do anything with children. Schneider's weird thing was
with massages, right?
But not with children.
Yeah. That's important to clarify. But I'm saying the massage is weird.
Which is weird. It's weird to call the person that makes the clothing decisions and have her come massage you. That's weird. And you shouldn't do it. There's a difference between doing that with a consenting adult and a child. Huge.
Yeah, I agree.
I guarantee you this stream is going to get taken down.
Also, no.
Oh, it's down.
Is it really?
No, I'm just fucking.
Oh, fuck, man.
So here's the thing, though. I specifically remember in the intro for iCarly, there's a lot of weirdness in the intro. When you go back.
You were too young to remember iCarly.
No,
he's on for iCarly.
I grew up on
Drake Josh. He's too old for.
No, I grew up on Drake and Josh.
Reruns.
So yes,
it wasn't reruns. I was watching it when it was coming out.
There is suggestive content.
I was around for Nick at Night. All right.
Wow. Yeah, he woke up to George Lopez's fat head.
Yeah, I did a lot.
Keep going.
So there is suggestive content, but I think we have to admit that there's a difference between making a joke that could be a joke about something and doing something that's a felony.
I mean, having two underage chicks wearing bikinis fighting each other in iCarly is kind of weird.
Definitely weird. But once again, you also have to remember that these things were approved by executives on both coasts, by the parents of the actresses and actors, by the guardians on set, by members of SAG. Like, this wasn't just Dan being weird and going.
No, it's all of them.
You know what I want to see?
So the best thing you can do if you are a parent of a child in Hollywood is watch them like a hawk.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because you should never allow your child to be in the hands of anybody in Hollywood. And putting your child in Hollywood to begin with is probably the worst thing you could. Not the worst thing, but one of the worst things you could do as a parent in this day and age. And it's been happening if you go back to the freaking 50s.
I was gonna say, in this day and age, no, in any age right now that
it's gotten worse though.
No, I think it's being uncovered based off of technology. I think
I agree with that. I think it's definitely I think it's definitely that we're.
In fact, it's based off of that. It's probably even worse back in the 50s.
You're probably yeah. I mean, you're definitely correct, but still, it's happening, and one's too many.
Well, but look, at the same since we're on that topic, unfortunately, the people that are putting their kids with a disregard of what's going on, they're probably looking at the paychecks that their kids bringing in for them because they're making millions of dollars. It's sad. Don't really have too much more to say on this stuff.
No, I mean, to be honest, we probably beat the horse to death because what can you say beyond it's disgusting and they should be buried underneath the prison?
I think anybody with a soul would agree that this is just not okay, man.
So let's move on.
Please.
Don't really know how you move on, but let's
On to
move
something else. What's our next?
Have you ever seen videos? I think this was a trend a while back of taking like a ruler to Subway and getting your foot long and then be like, "Hey, it's only 11 inches."
Yes.
Or the meme of the guy that said, I went to Texas Roadhouse and ordered my 16-ounce porterhouse, and I measured it, and it was only 8 ounces, and I got another steak for free. You should do this. So it turns out someone's finally doing something about it. So Cinemark, which is a group of, what are they called? Movie theaters. And I'm just gonna throw a guess out here.
I thought they were the distributor for a lot of like food at movie theaters, or are they like?
They could be. I think they're theaters though.
Okay.
So I know there are some in Texas.
Yo, Sundowners, what's up, dude?
Cinnabon. Shane Waldrop has filed a class action against Cinemark for basically lying about their sizes. So apparently size does matter.
Yeah. We've all lied about our sizes before, guys.
The lawsuit filed in Texas federal court on Tuesday claims Cinemark's 24-ounce cups aren't true to size and can only be filled with a maximum of 22 ounces of liquid. It claims that alleged deception is part of its systematic packaging and pricing practice, which if you've ever gone to like the store and bought like salmon fillets and stuff, the way a lot of these things are packaged is you've got the whole package right there. You've got a piece of salmon here and a piece of salmon here, and they put a wrapping around the middle, so that it looks like the whole thing is full of salmon, but it's actually 2 small fillets.
I've seen that, but also when you're cooking it, it expands a little bit.
Actually shrinks.
Or whatever. It depends on what you're cooking.
Yeah, but typically shrinks.
Yeah, but the mass is still there, though.
Yeah, I mean, wait, what's the
like salmon will go flat and it will like contract, but it'll get wider first and then contract in. Whereas like with steak, it's just like it's only gonna get smaller. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but the mass is still there.
We don't have to get caught up on this.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was gonna say technically it shrinks because of the amount of water that's in meat, and as you cook, water dehydrates, so any type of meat shrinks. But we're on a complete different topic now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, shit. Dude,
I just think this is really funny because you've got what's the old joke? The theater was robbed last night. Someone got away with like $1,000 worth of stuff. Oh, what'd they steal? Just a bucket of popcorn and a drink.
That is funny.
I haven't heard of that one, but it's true.
Yeah. I thought about going through this and then kind of decided not to, but I think it's funny that not only is someone, and hopefully many people, so with class actions, what's going to end up happening is the plaintiff, Shane Waldrop, basically has to announce the class action, get a bunch of people to join, and then it has to be certified as a class. What that probably is going to mean is you have to prove that everyone involved in the class is let's see if I remember this, has had a significant amount of the same issues. So let's say if the class ends up being everyone that's bought the 24-ounce drink, that it's actually just 22 ounces, that will end up being the class. But what's so funny about this is, I brought up the joke about the guy taking the ruler to Subway. We've got so many examples of companies basically just lying to us about what we're actually getting. when we buy something, and it's kind of sad that it's taken a guy upset about not getting 2 more ounces of soda, but someone's finally saying something about this.
I mean, you ever been to McDonald's?
Not in 18 years.
Yeah, but like you knew.
I know you can't believe it, can you?
But you knew 18 years ago that chicken wasn't a regular chicken.
No, I was very naive. I trusted everything 18 years ago.
But maybe a couple years after that, you were like,
yeah.
This chicken isn't a regular chicken.
No. Yeah, chicken doesn't look like this.
I can't, dude. I used to be in elementary school, and we would take a hot dog and throw it at the ground, and that shit would bounce. Like, I mean, I never did, but I'd see kids do it, and I'd be like, I'm never buying the hot dog. I would never get the hot dogs there.
I still love hot dogs.
I love hot dogs, but I wouldn't
up.
get school ones. The school hot dogs I wouldn't get.
There's so much food that you eat that someone eats at school that I wouldn't feed to my dog.
No, dude.
But I tell you what I do miss from school: Square Pizza Day. I do miss the square pizzas.
I miss Chicken Nuggets Day was great because they were actual chicken nuggets that were real chicken. They were the bomb. And Nacho Day was awesome. Yeah, the beefy, cheesy nachos.
We had Nacho Days.
Dude, it was ground beef. You'd see them actually take the ground beef out of the real container from the supermarket, fry it up in the morning, and then you'd go to lunch in a couple hours, and it would be like that. They put the cheese on it, you beefy, cheesy nachos. You could throw stuff on there. It was so good. And it wasn't until high school that Aramark came in. We actually got like a salad bar, like French fries that were like handcrafted or whatever. Like it was like good stuff at that point. We were getting like the pizza. We were getting square pizzas every day, but it was like Elio's pizza. It was like obviously like Elio's. So
I don't know what that is.
It's the square pizzas you can buy in the box from the supermarket. So like you knew it was actually like not bad stuff. It was like the all natural shit because that's when Mr. Obama came in.
Most people just call it Michelle, but okay.
Yeah,
so
I know what you're saying.
Before we end, back to Twitter. Anybody been checking on any of the universities around here?
Around where?
Damio, how's UT Austin going?
Oh yeah, you're
probably up in flames with a Palestine flag being raised.
This shit is insane.
I was talking to somebody at the grocery store about this because the cashier was having a conversation with somebody else, and it just there was like 5 people standing around all talking about this thing.
So UCLA protesters are demanding a variety of supplies, including zip ties, gas masks, knee pads, and lotion. That doesn't sound consensual.
Yeah,
wait.
The knee pads and the lotion are suspect. I'm gonna just say it.
What?
Like, I don't understand how. At least Texas got there pretty quick. The UNC one that started, I think, yesterday morning is now over because they basically just said, the fuck you are, and the entire right squad showed up.
Well, they're starting to arrest rioters.
Well, and
they're stopping Jewish kids from going to their college
classes.
Oh,
yeah. The ones in, which one?
So they have nothing to do with what's going
Columbia.
on.
The one at Columbia, they the police entered they captured some hall, like there was some building like 2 or 3 nights ago, and the police went in last night and got everyone out, and I think they arrested like 200 people in this whole thing, and they found that like 80% of them weren't even students of the university.
What?
Yeah. And I love what Sundown is talking about here. This, I'm going to see if I can find this.
Please do. I want to see this. But here's the thing. Like, you have students, right? You could be a freshman in college and you know nothing about, like, the world yet, to be honest.
Yeah,
and you also are just going to your class, but you have a yarmulke on because you're a proud Jewish person, and they're stopping you from getting into your classroom.
Yeah.
Like, is that not exactly discrimination, in my opinion? Like these people are American citizens.
It is 100, most likely American citizens.
Yeah,
it is 100% discrimination.
So, but they don't even know what they're protesting for, and they're people my age. I hate this because it makes I don't even want to talk to most people my age because of stuff like this, dude. It sucks. You find that one diamond in the rough every now and then that actually knows what they're talking about, pays attention.
Yeah, I'm still looking for one.
But I am too. I don't know anyone younger than me that I actually like to talk to.
Shut up.
So I can't find the dude's thread here on Twitter. So I'll just tell you what happened. This at UNC, they basically stormed the
Capitol.
No.
Yo,
this is April 30th, not
not what?
So, so what happened was these protesters basically stormed the front of the university, whatever their commons area is called, and took the American flag down and put up a Palestine flag.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was 3 or 4 hours later, a bunch of these frat guys got out there and pulled it down and raised the American flag instead. And now what's really cool is I'm sorry, that's incorrect. So what happened was they were trying to pull it down. They were trying to pull the American flag down to raise the Palestine flag.
That's
and
disgusting.
The frat guys ran up to keep the flag from hitting the ground.
Yeah,
so if you see the picture of a bunch of guys holding the flag up, that's what that is. Now they did eventually have to take the flag down, to keep it safe and all that, and they did raise the Palestine flag. But last night or yesterday afternoon, the UNC chancellor walked up with a bunch of cops, tore the Palestine flag down, and raised the American flag.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Honestly, that was a pretty cool video. I need to see how I find
people
that.
Protesting have no idea what they're protesting for.
100%.
And not only that, if they went over to Palestine right now, they'd be shot and killed.
I'm getting irritated. I'm just getting irritated with it's completely anti-American. Go do what you want to do in other countries. Don't bring
so there's actually now
a year if you last there. You'll be coming back.
There's actually now a GoFundMe for Pi Kappa Phi, which is the fraternity that kept the flag up, to throw them a rager.
Hell yeah.
7.2 thousand donations. And they are at $226,000.
Oh my god, dude. They're gonna have a freaking party. But here's the thing. I grew up I have military members in my family. My grandfather and a lot of my family were in Vietnam. And you know what? To see them disrespect the American flag that people have fought and died for. My great uncle, I never got to meet him. He died in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. The other one before him died in World War II. You have people that have fought for your freedom to stand there and do this. You don't take down the American flag. You put another flag up with it if you want to. But the American flag is first. It is sad to me because guess what we used to have to do in Boy Scouts when an American flag was rained on, touched the ground, was soiled in any way, you cut the stripes, then you cut out the stars in the blue square, and you fold the stripes over it, and you burn it.
Were you a Boy Scout?
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
That's what we learned to do, and now it's so simple.
Did you ever become an Eagle Scout?
Dude, they actually.
Wait, did you ever fish when you were?
Here's the thing, though. No jokes, like all jokes aside. Here's the thing, though. Nowadays, they're all nylon flags, and their excuse is because they're nylon, you can throw them out.
So there's one kind of funny little story about the whole burning the flag thing. I remember this is probably like 2012. There were a bunch of riots going on in the Middle East, and they started burning American flags. But the flags they were buying to burn were like cheap Chinese ones, and they were made with something. I don't know what it was, but while they were burning it, it was actually like killing people in the crowd because the fumes and the toxins that were coming off this like fake flag were like causing people to choke. Like it was irony at its best.
Well, here's the thing. You burn the flag in reverence. That's why you have to cut the stripes. You wrap the 13 stripes around the stars, and then you burn it. And you all stand there and you watch it burn. You don't say nothing. You're quiet until it's burned.
Oh,
that's.
Do you want to tell us about the shrooms incident? I don't think we've heard about this. You didn't become an Eagle Scout because of the shrooms incident? What's that?
Well, it was a Boy Scout, but never made Eagle Scout. I made Eagle Scout. There was no.
Did you? It's kind of like a vegan, isn't it?
Dude, I have an American flag over here with a letter from Donald Trump himself.
It's pretty nice.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah.
Well, I had people tell me, I wish that you got it a year or two ago so you could have it from Obama.
So my dad actually got out of the Army in like spring of 2016, and I've told him several times, you should have waited like a year to get out. You could have gotten a good signature.
Yeah, I got because people were actually mad at me that I got it because Trump signed it and flew my flag above the Capitol.
Nice.
And I was like, "What? Like, I have a president's signature. Fuck you!" Like,
well, everyone, I think I'm a bit talked out. I've been doing a lot of driving this past week, so next week hopefully it'll be a lot more exciting, a lot more energetic, and I might even have fucking shit on my wall.
Are we doing a Friday night this week or no?
I don't know. I'll find out on Friday.
Sounds good.
I think I might be booting my channel back up on Friday. So
awesome! Can't wait.
I don't know. It's probably gonna be aliens, but if
I mean, I can't wait to show y'all.
Yeah. All right.
I have
that's what I think I'm gonna do on Friday. But
awesome.
Thank you for having me here, Caleb.
Absolutely. If somebody wants to put or if Daimyo wants to put his link in the chat.
Yes, sir.
I'd love for Rolo to put his, but
he doesn't have
Rolo doesn't have a channel.
Oh, I have a lot of time on my hands to get it going.
You know, I've heard that before.
You have. But this is a little bit different because I actually have a lot of time. You guys know why.
And please, everyone, if you haven't yet, subscribe, like the stream.
Absolutely.
And become a member if you'd like to.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to hop over to Graber's stream as well. So I'll see you guys there. But otherwise, the Roller Roamcast is back. So see you guys over there on that show. The RG Energy channel. But we're also on Spotify and stuff. So
it's pretty fun sometimes. Sometimes they're 22s.
Yeah, I kind of have to tune out when they start shilling for Disney all the time. Other than that,
I'm fair. Listen, I'm not the commie on the stream, okay?
No.
So
we'll see.
Okay, so it's a commie and a half channel, but
not a half. I'm not a half.
I gotta go cook dinner.
Have fun. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great week, and see you next time.
See you next time.